Hello, amazing, beautiful people. It is always such a joy to be with you. And here we are, season 4, episode 5. And we're talking today about leverage. Leverage is actually investment, but leverage, what gives us that edge, those small hinges that swing open big doors of opportunity. Well, your big three is actually your key, being your future self now. So, looking ahead to where you want to be, and we actually looked at that earlier in the season. So, where you want to be and making that happen now. And this morning, I read quite an enlightening article about, whether you quack like a duck and you grumble and you mumble about your day and you go on gosmos and you spend your time comparing yourself to others and looking at the gap, or where are you somebody who can literally fly like an eagle and be offer an outstanding service, go over and above, and be your future self now. So I just thought that was really fascinating. So anyway, what does this really mean about leverage, and why would I talk about quacking like a duck or flying like an eagle? So ultimately, the first thing it means, you've got a vision or a plan. An eagle knows where it's going and what it's up to, instead of being down here. And we did that in episode 3. So in episode 3, we looked at imagining and starting to create the life that you really want. And then we started to move in that in episode 4, where you planned your big 3. What are the 1 to 3 things that, for you, when focused, would drive the most amazing and exceptional value in your life, where things would just flow seamlessly? Well, as many of you may know, my small hinges that open big doors are faith, family, and finance. So, and they need to be in that order. And then from there, my fun and my friends flow. So it's just all about being at peace. It's that I'm not a heart, mind, and alignment coach for nothing. It's keeping that alignment, keeping true to who you are, keeping true to how you're made. And that gives you massive leverage. Authenticity is massive, it's key at this time. So when I put God first, which actually is a great speech that Denzel Washington shared. It's like a graduation speech. You need to. I'll put the link in the show notes because it's brilliant. My whole world literally changes, and it changed from one of disappointment and pressure and performance and having to do this and having to do that, to one where all things were possible, where I didn't have to worry, I didn't have to fear. Oh my goodness, like trust me, there couldn't be better leverage than that. Going from I'm not good enough to I'm more than enough. The Great Exchange book was all around taking that pain to that promise, taking the lie to the truth. And it's time that we really came. And when we come and we live from peace and rest in our hearts, our minds are our most creative, because we're actually using our prefrontal cortex, the most creative part of our brain. We can think long distance. We can think years ahead. We can be creative. When we're stressed and anxious, literally it starts to move back in our brain. And sometimes we can't see any more than the next 10 minutes when it's really bad. And it gets into fear. And fear is where unhelpful things happen because we're not in control anymore. So I really encourage you to, and that actually comes from the amazing guy who wrote The Boy That Was brought up as a dog. Can't remember. I'll put the link in the chat, but it's in the show notes. But it's an amazing, like his chart around how we're in a safe creative space, neocortex, all amazing. And then in the back is where things go horribly wrong. So let's stay in a place that is good for us, knowing that everything is going to turn out okay, knowing it opens possibilities. The problems open possibilities. Whew. And you know what? I've already achieved more than I thought I would. I don't know about you. Like, what have you achieved at this time? I look back over my life, and let me tell you, 10 years ago, when I was in the thick of divorce, I really thought this was the end. But here I am now. Kev and I have the most powerful partnership, filled with love and forgiveness and honor and respect. It's an incredible blessing. Totally the opposite of where I was 10 years ago. Nuts. I also have, or we have, three fabulous children, all carving their own paths, living their dreams, creating them a life that suits them and serves those around them. Not what I would want my kids to do, but what they want to do. And actually, what they want to do makes me happy, so that's cool. You know, and who ever thought I'd write a book, let alone be an international bestseller? It's just crazy nuts, but it's good nuts. It's crazy. Like, I don't get this stuff, but it's brilliant. And it's bringing the best out in me. What brings the best out in you? Because for me, it's God. God brings the best out in me. And I'm far more than I ever thought I would be. It's brilliant. Anyway, the power of his word and prayer and thanksgiving is the best leverage I could ever have, or I could ever want in this world. It's better than any self-help book, any degree or study that we could invest in. You know, some people spend six figures on education, filling themselves with knowledge to gain leverage in the marketplace. Let me tell you, no one cares how much you know until they know how much you care. It's about relationship first, but we'll get onto that in a minute. One turn towards Jesus and your whole world becomes this world of prosperity and abundance and joy and opportunity. It's nuts and it's brilliant. Anyway, if you want to know more about having a relationship with God and how you could then enjoy the delights of the heavenly realms now on earth, because that's what he said, my kingdom come, I will be done on earth as it is in heaven. So boom, bring it on. Let's have heaven on earth. Come and join us this ANZAC weekend and win the battles in life. It's a free event that I'm putting on for the 3 days. You know what? Jesus at Easter, we celebrate that coming this weekend. Easter weekend, you know, he died so that we didn't have to, actually, so that we could live a brilliant life because he was resurrected. Boom, job done. Send you the Holy Spirit. We're on fire. This is good. And then also, ANZAC Weekend is all about the Australians and the New Zealanders that won the war, that paid the price. We're in a time of peace right now, and we couldn't be more at war with the battle in our heads. So come and get that free event. Anyway, so there we go. We've talked about faith being God, and obviously me looking after myself as well. The next of my big three is family. Family is about investment. The more I invest in my husband, the more I invest and keep him at the center, the more I invest in my children, the more I invest in my family, the more that comes back. And I didn't even ask for it. It's nuts. Absolutely nuts. But it's flipping brilliant. Anyway, so I am now more in love, more at peace. I've had more kindness, more gentleness, more security, more blessing, more grace, more favour than I could possibly have imagined in my wildest dreams. Oh, it's nuts. And I have never been as happy or filled with joy in my life as I am now. What we focus on expands. And I choose to focus on loving my husband and my children so that more comes out that I didn't even know about. And my ethos for bringing up my children when they were at home was to set them up for success when they left school. I didn't just want them to be clever. That's really helpful. Don't get me wrong. Using what you've been given, your grey matter is outstanding. But I wanted them to be fully equipped. I wanted them to be able to cook for themselves, have a tidy room, be organised, sort their own washing out, as well as an academic education. It has stood them in good stead, which has been amazing. And yes, I did choose to pay for my children's education because I wanted faith to be part of it. Even though I wasn't walking with Jesus at that time and walking with God at that time, I just knew that this is what we're made for. And so it's given them massive leverage because they have amazing, solid work ethic. They're brave and courageous when it comes to challenges in their lives. You know, and some of the accolades that they got, like when you look, you go, okay, so what was the fruit from that? It's all very well talking about it, but what came out of the way Sally works or the way that I brought my kids up or whatever, is they both got leadership roles in the last 2 years at high school. You know, one of them has had 4 invitations to the Junior Black Sticks. So that's 4 years of hanging out in the very top end of her sporting code. My son got a top leadership award at the end of college, and they're both living their dreams. And in fact, one of them's even started up their own business to pay for university. I think that's nuts and brilliant, just quietly. Which leads us on to finance. You know, the leverage for finance is relationship. Relationship, it's people. Our personal relationships with God, ourselves, and our families, and those we work with, friends and acquaintances, are the best investments we could ever make. Not because you want to suck something out of them, not because of what you can get or how much money you can make out of them. That's the world's way. It's really important that you care about how you make them feel and go over and above, you know, putting things the right way up. And actually, it'd be lovely. It would be lovely to see our world turn the right way up. Instead of focusing on money, focus on the people. Because when you focus on the people you look after, the money comes in at the back end. It's beautiful. It's the right way up. Not let me walk over everybody and get the money and, oh, well, actually, I'm not really bothered about that person. Wrong way around. Anyway, so by focusing on people, by focusing on relationship, here's some of the things I never thought were going to be possible and the results that came out of it. You know, this year alone, I've saved 3 marriages. And 3 doesn't sound very much, but we're only in April, and I'm quite excited. I never thought this was going to be possible, especially as mine fell over. Like, when did I become like a marriage guru? It's nuts. But actually, when I sorted myself out and I became the person I could be, I was then able to actually be a good wife. So, amazing stuff there. Another one was helping 90 young adults each year make the right choices for them as they leave school and go into the next season. What the heck? Anyway, it's all good. That's always been part of my heart, but I never thought it was possible. And then people finding God through the pages of the Great Exchange book, whether they're a Christian or not. People have found their faith. They're finding the things that they love and they're finding themselves. And then my fun and my friendships flow beautifully from my big 3. So how does it work for you? What are your big 3? How does your life flow? How do you stay in alignment? And if you want to know more about your big 3, if you want to know more about what small hinges will open big doors, come and join us at the ANZAC event. It's free for you and you can win the battles of your life. So you can join us at www.inspiringperspectives.co.nz/ANZAC event. And I will put that link for the Denzel Washington quote in there, the video too, because it's absolutely nuts. Great stuff. So have an amazing week. I really encourage you, this will be going out just before Easter, so I really encourage you to think about what Easter means for you. What price was paid for you to be brilliant, for you to be amazing, for you to live the best life possible. And if you want to know more about that, come and join us at the ANZAC event. We might be at a time of peace, but actually there's a lot going on up here for a lot of people. Let's get those thoughts the way you want it. Let's get your life in alignment with what you really want to be doing. And let's have fun. So I love you all dearly. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this each week. And I look forward to seeing you next week. God bless.